Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, a can't-miss opportunity for young people considering a future career in firefighting or EMS response. Details on the second annual Midwest Fire Explorer Day.
Plus, consider a getaway to beautiful Savannah, Illinois. We'll take a closer look at why this small town is a destination and not just a scenic drive-through.
And later, the annual Chalk Art Fest is back in Rock Island's Schwiebert Park this weekend. We'll show you what families can expect at this vibrant two-day event.
Hello and welcome to Quad Cities Live on this Wednesday, May 28th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
And I'm Kyle Keel.
Yes, this weekend, the prehistoric past roars to life at the Putnam Museum with Dino Days.
Yeah, it's a big weekend. It's a two-day adventure packed with dinosaur encounters, immersive exhibits, and of course, jaw-dropping family fun.
Yeah.
Joining us now with what visitors can expect is Scott Peak from the Putnam, as well as Sarah the Triceratops making a return once again to QCL. Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh, what a cutie. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Scott, so Dino Days coming up this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so talk a little bit about what we're going to experience when we bring the family to the Putnam.
So, I mean, it's, you know, dinosaur fun.
Yes.
Right? So we've got, every ticket you get a movie ticket. So you can go to T-Rex 3D, or you can go to, there's a double feature of Jurassic shorts.
Oh.
Return to the Lost World and Return to the Lost World. So that's kind of the basis of your ticket.
Yeah.
And then there's crafts and there's activities, and you get to meet little Sarah here, but you also get to meet a bigger dinosaur that kind of walks around.
Right.
Meet a paleontologist, all sorts of things.
That is awesome. Oh yeah, we're seeing some photos on the screen right now. There's lots of stuff to do. There's going to be, there's going to be the face painting. There's also a fossil dig.
That's right.
That's
so we always
fun.
have our normal dino dig outside, but there's an extra special indoor fossil dig where you get to find things to keep.
Oh, that's fun.
That is fun. And a lot of this is sensory friendly as well.
So we actually have a sensory-friendly time period on Sunday from 10 to noon, and then we have a sensory-friendly showing of the Jurassic double feature as well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
So,
that's wonderful. Okay, so along with that, if you purchase a ticket, admission to the entire museum is also free that day. You get a special photo op with a Jurassic Park Jeep. So Scott was just telling us about this before we started the show today. So there is actually somebody who has like a legitimate, we're gonna tour the jungle Jeep.
So yeah, actually one of our, I think it was me, but somebody saw it on a driving one day and I was like, we gotta get that guy to come, whatever, so we kind of tracked him down. And
Definitely it was you.
And and it, it's kind of his hobby Jeep that he's been working on, but it's decked out just like the Jurassic Park Jeeps.
Oh my gosh.
And so we have this big announcement coming up at the event. And so we're gonna have the Jeep there, people can do a little photo op. We'll have JP the polar bear, he's all decked out as a paleontologist.
JP polar bear,
and all sorts of stuff.
That is super cool.
All right, so we gotta stay tuned for that big announcement because you're not spilling the beans to us, are you?
No, I'm not.
No.
Darn it.
Is it dinosaur related?
It is dinosaur related.
There
Good
you
job.
go.
Yes.
A little hint.
Exactly.
Dino related. So you got the basic tickets, but you also have the VIP tickets, which gets you a little
bit of extra merch. That's right. So you get a T-shirt.
Okay. Yeah.
We get the green ones as staff, but then you get this khaki one, and your choice of a dino kit.
Oh.
And then there's a little bit of an added VR experience. We've added a VR experience to the Egypt gallery, and so VIP people are going to get a chance to check that out.
Okay, how long have you guys been doing that, a virtual reality experience? Is that pretty
So we started
popular?
it like a week and a half ago.
Oh, so this is very new.
Yeah, we've peaked at a couple different things. It was at the Putnam Palooza back at the beginning of May as a sample thing. But now it's on the schedule Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons.
Okay, Sarah, you're being so good today.
She's
You're a good little
quiet, too.
Triceratops.
She doesn't have any plants to eat.
We're sorry.
Well, we should have had
Last time there was some greenery.
Our plants are fake.
Succulents.
Yeah.
Giving away our secrets. So also, it's the dinosaurs this weekend, but it's also the final weekend for the Mystery of the Mayan Medallion exhibit, which you've talked about before. So we want to, if you haven't seen it yet, we want to make sure we explore this weekend.
It was kind of the perfect opportunity to have kind of the last chance.
Yeah.
So it actually closes on Sunday.
Okay.
So your Dino Days tickets gets you you into the exhibit, and you get to solve a mystery by following some clues. Strangely enough, my family just did it the other day. It's been there since winter, and they said, we need to see it before it's gone. And they spent a good half hour, 45 minutes going through, learning all the things.
It's really hands-on.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get to, again, solve the mystery and push the right glyphs, and then you solve the mystery. So.
It is very cool. Yeah. Again, movies on the giant screen. This is huge for the Putnam. The screen is, in fact, gigantic. And you guys are finishing up Star Wars related movies. So we have a couple opportunities to see those ones.
So tomorrow is The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
And then the next week it's Return of the Jedi.
Okay, and then after that, you've got some good ones coming up as well, some popular ones.
Yeah.
So in June 12th, is 42, which is a Jackie Robinson movie.
Yes.
Perfect for baseball season.
Yes, exactly.
Just in time.
And then the next week we've got Hairspray, the 2007 musical version, not the 1988 version, but just to clarify
this is with John Travolta dressed as a woman. Yes, we love this one. This is fab. Yeah. And then Crazy Rich Asians, which I've seen multiple times. This is one of the funniest movies. It is really, really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Okay, so again, Dino Days, I just want to ask you, because you guys have done this in the past, what is the response like from families in the community? You guys do a really good job of, you know, making it really exciting, especially for the kids.
Yeah. No, it's a fun, this event is so just kind of fun, low-key fun.
Yeah.
One thing I should add, there is a new thing this year. There will be bouncy dinosaur races.
Ooh. Bouncy dinosaur races.
So, you know,
count me in.
Try that one out. It's kind of like if you ever heard of a roadie horse? Instead of that, it's like a dinosaur.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think go for a race.
I'm gonna Google it. Give it a Goog. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, well, Dino Days, again, is this Saturday, May 31st from 10 to 6, and then Sunday, June 1st from 10 to 5. Tickets are $18 or $9 if you are a member, so become a member. And to purchase your tickets, visit putnam.org. All kinds of information there as well about the movies being shown on the giant screen. Scott, thank you so much.
Yes,
Sarah,
Sarah the Triceratops.
Good girl. You've been a good.
You did
thank you.
Yes. All right, check Sarah out this weekend for sure. All right, well, coming up, an opportunity for teens and young adults to learn what it's like to be a firefighter. We'll have details on the Midwest Fire Explorer Day next on Quad Cities Live.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, the second annual Midwest Fire Explorer Day is coming up this Saturday, May 31st, and it's at Camp Loud Thunder, giving teens and young adults a very unique chance to gear up and experience what it takes to be a firefighter.
Yes, it's a high-energy day of hands-on learning and teamwork with challenges, demonstrations, and career exploration. Joining us today to talk more about it is Michael Fleming from the Muscatine Fire Department, along with Ava Ocker, a current fire explorer who took part in last year's event. Both of you, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, we're so excited to talk with you. What a cool event. Michael, so tell us about it. What exactly is Midwest Fire Explorer Day? Where'd you come up with the idea to host something like this for the community?
So what we tried to do is put together a day where local explorer groups, cadets, could get together and kind of network, meet other people. We're working on like building their confidence, also getting some fire skills in, but it's actually hosted at the Boy Scout camp. So that gives us a unique opportunity to be able to do stuff like rock climbing, zip line, you know, different aspects besides just the firefighting.
Yeah, cool.
It's for ages 14 to 21. It is geared more towards the youth that are already explorers or cadets.
Okay, very fun.
All right, so yeah, we're looking at photos from some of the past events there. So you kind of mentioned it, very hands-on activities here. So you mentioned the rock climbing and the zip lining. So what other activities are people going to be participating in?
So this year we're actually going to have a live burn trailer. That'll be our first time allowing the explorers or cadets to go in where we can actually control the flame and everything.
That's awesome.
So, so they'll be able to feel the actual live heat some. So we'll have that. We have an obstacle course, kind of a race at the end that a lot of kids kind of enjoyed, where it was different firefighting activities, and we put on a competition and win prizes and stuff at the end.
Neat.
Oh, yeah, that is really cool. It kind of feels like training almost, except for younger people. So Ava, how long have you been part of the Explorer program? What really got you interested in doing this?
About 4 years, and then they came when I was a freshman, and then they talked during like muskie time, and they told us about it, and then that's when I joined.
That's very cool. What do you like about doing it?
Oh, it's super fun, and it's helped build my confidence a lot, and it's given me a lot of different opportunities.
That's awesome to hear. Very cool.
A lot of life skills as well. So a very unique opportunity. So Michael, what does the Muscatine Fire Explorer program actually entail generally?
So generally our program, we actually meet twice a month, usually the first and third Sundays of the month for 2 hours. And we actually try to put all of our cadets, explorers, through the training process that we would put our recruits through.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
So they actually do ice rescue, we do rappelling, we do search and rescue, EMS skills, pretty much anything that you could think of a probationary firefighter doing, that's what we try to do with our program.
That looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
That is very cool. And you participated, Ava, in last year's event. So the event that we're referring to this weekend. So what was one or two of your favorite things that you got to do?
I really liked the zip line, and then I really liked the thing at the end.
The race,
Yeah.
The obstacle course. Yeah, I knew where you were going
Yes.
with that. I knew where you were going with that. And you already talked about, I mean, you've really gained a lot from doing this 4 years ago. You've gained a lot of confidence, which is really, really cool. You guys actually brought some gear with you here today. So I want to ask Michael, do the students or young people, youth, have an opportunity to try some of this on?
So this is actually some of our newer gear. We saw a need to purchase new gear that's NFPA compliant, so they can actually go to these live fire training, because we need to make sure that first and foremost everyone's safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that, we actually started a nonprofit. We were able to raise almost $25,000 last year through the community supporting us.
Yeah.
So all of this gear is actually, this is Ava's gear here. She has it on her mask.
This is cool.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Each week though, she gets to wear this when we do our trainings and everything.
How cool.
Yeah, I haven't heard of something like this before.
I haven't either.
And I can't imagine everybody wouldn't want to do this. I mean, it's very cool.
Yeah, and it's a good way to get the young people interested. So why do you think it's important to get people, young people especially, kind of this hands-on experience for this type of career? So young.
Yeah, I think that, you know, as really little kids, everybody dreams about being a firefighter.
Sure,
As you get older though, you know, it kind of gets put on a back burner. A lot of people don't even think about this really as a career anymore.
Absolutely.
So it's a very unique opportunity to be able to actually try this stuff. Like I said, we're going to actually have our explorers in live fire conditions. We're going to send 2 of our explorers to the Illinois Fire Service Institute. They put together a 4-day weekend, basically, where all the explorers and cadets can go and do live training and stuff too. So.
That's cool. Ava, do you see yourself pursuing a career one day, like beyond high school, in firefighting or emergency services?
Maybe, but it actually got me to join the National Guard, so.
Really?
You're so impressive.
You are, yeah, wow. I mean, and it just started by attending one event, and now you've got all these activities and opportunities ahead of yourself, so that's awesome.
Yeah, well, obviously, programs like this one, they need support, so how can community members or local businesses support you in some way, support the Muscatine Explorer program?
So we're always looking for donations. Obviously, for the IFSI school, it costs approximately $1,600 to send 2 explorers and 2 advisors.
Okay, well that's good to know. Yeah, well you guys are doing awesome things. Thank you so much for chatting with us. A reminder, the 2nd annual Midwest Fire Explorer Day is this Saturday, May 31st at Camp Loud Thunder in Illinois City. But if you want to learn more, the Muscatine Fire EMS Explorer group, you can follow along on Facebook. They've got a great Facebook page. You see it on your screen right now. Lots of updates, lots of photos of young people like Ava who are just doing their thing. Yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for being here today. And have a good weekend. Have fun.
Yes,
Absolutely. Okay, just ahead on QCL, a community-centered film festival designed to spark conversation, connection, and cultural understanding. That's next.
Quad Cities Live continues.
It is a celebration of storytelling, culture, and community right here in the Quad Cities. The Pulling Focus African American Film Festival returns this June for its third year, shining spotlight on Black voices and visionary filmmakers. Joining us today to talk about this year's lineup and the impact of the festival is Gay Shannon Burnett. Gay, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we just have so much to talk about because you have been planning and doing so much to prepare for this. So it is coming up next weekend. It actually starts on Thursday of next week. It's your third annual festival. Where did the idea for this come from? Kind of take us back to how you all put this together in the first place.
Well, at Azimbwike, we have had a film program for the last 9 years,
Wow.
and that's Urban Exposure, summer film program, and it's grown into a film project. And we just thought it was time for us to maybe host our own showcase.
Yeah.
And we still send our filmmakers, the kids' films out to different film festivals, but we just felt it was time to have one here in the Quad Cities. And yes, I do know about Alternating Currents because we were at Bucktown for
Yes.
10 years, so.
Okay, well, yeah, but the more the merrier, right?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
what
absolutely. There's room for more. So again, it's taking place next week, Thursday through Sunday. Can you talk a little bit about the programming and the events that will be making up this 4-day festival?
Okay. Well, we list on Film Freeway, and so
Okay.
that's where we get the submissions from. And sometimes people contact us directly, and we say, okay, send us a link so we can look at this.
Right.
But most of the filmmakers do submit on Film Freeway, and we look at the different films. This year I got 108 films.
108.
Yeah, I actually see everything.
You do?
Yeah, but we have preliminary judges.
So
and
you are
I dish
busy.
it out
Yeah.
to people so they can, help me with that. And then we fine tune it and send it to our esteemed judges, we call them, different filmmakers that work with us. So
Wonderful.
It's a long process. We started early this year because
You take it seriously.
we do, and we
Yeah.
want to make sure that we've evaluated everyone's film and that they get a chance to either be in the film festival, and of course we can't take all 108,
Sure.
but we take a lot, and this is our first year that we are a certified, Iowa Certified Film Festival.
Well,
so we're on the map.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes, you are on the map. That is awesome. So are there different categories that these films fall into, or is it just that a certain amount of, okay, there are.
Yeah, we have 8 categories.
8 categories.
And so it's like Best Short, Best Student Film, Best First-Time Filmmaker,
Okay.
Best Inspirational. We have a Real Impact category.
I was going to say, that's new this year, correct?
Well, actually, we started last year.
Last year, Real Impact
Real
category.
Impact. I think the PSA didn't update.
Well, no, that's fine, but I would love to hear more about it. So this, who could enter that category, for example? What kind of film?
Well, it's a cross between inspirational film or something that we feel has a real, significance to our community. We had one time, it was a dentist, and she had a film about the ill effects of children who have poor, dental care,
Dental hygiene,
and
yeah.
how that affects them in school, how that affects their health. And so those things we think are important to our community to see, So those are some of the films that would go into Real Impact. Yeah.
And as far as the filmmakers are concerned, this is a real mix of local, regional, but also international filmmakers. So this is a real opportunity to see something unique that you may not be able to see otherwise.
Yeah. Well, we had to start from the beginning. We started a category that was called Out of Competition because it was people that didn't really fit our guidelines. Like one guy sent a film and he was from Georgia, the country, and not the state.
Not the state,
but
yeah.
it was a good film, so we wanted to take it, and that's how we started that. Now it's called Open Competition because we feel the filmmakers should have a chance to win an award. So.
Yes, and there will be an awards ceremony. I'm assuming the final evening?
It's Sunday. Sunday late afternoon.
Sunday late afternoon. There will be an awards ceremony, so everyone can celebrate that. along with everything else, there are engaging panel discussions and different showcases. Audience members who go to see these films, they're also going to get to hear some really interesting discussion as well.
Yes, and we also have food.
Can't have a festival without food.
Yeah, so we have several different times that we, have receptions. But we are featuring David Fortune, and he is the AT&T Award winner, and they gave him $1 million to do his film.
Wow.
And he's bringing it here. And he is very connected to the Down syndrome community.
Okay.
So the film really features a Down syndrome boy with his father, and his father, they just lost the mom. So, they're rebuilding life. And he'll be here. He's also an NAACP Image Award nominee. And he's flying directly from Tribeca to here. They're flying him in.
Oh my goodness. Well, we've got that information on the screen right now for folks who are interested in that. It's called Color Book, that film by David Fortune. And so you'll be able to see a screening of that. Before we run out of time with you, I just wanted to point out and highlight something that you all do. So all screenings, all these events are free to the public.
Yes, they are.
How important to you, to your entire team, is accessibility when it comes to this festival?
It's everything, basically. I understand that a lot of the funders are saying, well, what's your model to, make this sustainable? And we do have one because we don't always get the money we need. This year, we're like half the budget, but, we're still going to make it work. But it's important because we don't want that to be a barrier. And we haven't grown to the point where we have a lot of incoming traffic, but we do get filmmakers and their families and things from Chicago, St. Louis. So it does feed the economy, and we have to figure out, how to leverage all of that.
Well, that sounds great.
Just our third year.
Yeah, it's just your third year, but already has grown so much in those 3 years. The Pulling Focus African American Film Festival is next weekend with opening night set for Thursday, June 5th. You can find details on Facebook or by heading to the website pullingfocusfilmfestival.com. Gay, you guys are doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Yes, thank you so much. Still ahead in our second half hour, we are exploring a hidden gem in our viewing area along the Mississippi River. See all that Savannah, Illinois has to offer. And we are in the kitchen cooking with Bud. Budweiser and Bud Light, that is. The new series kicks off next weekend at Bally's in Rock Island. Plus, the annual Chalk Art Fest is just days away, an opportunity for you and the kids to see more than 100 artists create 2D and 3D chalk masterpieces.
And of course, all of those artists hoping for some dry weather this weekend. I think we have a good shot at it, along with some warmer temperatures. But first, we still have some clouds to get through, maybe a couple isolated showers. We'll time those out with ExactTrack coming up in your first alert forecast in the next half hour. Quad Cities Live.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
Well, certainly a gloomy and dreary start to the day, but hey, we're finally seeing some sunshine. Those clouds breaking up in the Quad Cities, as evident from our, I lost my bearings here, from our Skyview and our QC MetroCam. I guess I was looking at a different monitor there, but you get the idea that yes, we do have those clouds breaking up, allowing for some late day sunshine, and that's led to temperatures getting close to 70 degrees. Still a couple of pop-up showers out there this afternoon. Those will continue to the early evening hours. More dry hours are expected Thursday than what we saw around here, especially this morning. But I think in the afternoon we have a couple of isolated showers, a possibility. And then we are off to some more sunshine and some warmer temperatures. In fact, we're talking some 80s, perhaps even close to 90 degrees here early next week. And that will come with just a touch more humidity as well. So here's a look at First Alert Live Doppler radar. A couple showers there in Knox County down toward the Highway 34 corridor. Also a couple popping up here off to the northwest of the Quad Cities. But you get the idea. Any of these very hit or miss, very light in nature. So not too concerned about this ruining any outdoor plans you might have this evening. So we've got this upper level spin. You can kind of see it very faintly here on the satellite. That's part of our upper level low that's slowly migrating eastward. We have another disturbance out here to the west. It's going to kind of track off to the south. And so that'll give our friends near the Highway 34 corridor a slight chance for rain here heading into Thursday. So there's your temperatures. Again, some recovery here, mainly south of Clinton. Clinton, you're at 65 degrees right now, 68 in Moline. Same temperature there in Mount Pleasant, Kewanee, and Princeton. We'll bottom out in the 50s here as we head into the overnight hours. You'll notice a lack of rain here. Even tomorrow afternoon, a lot more clouds than sun, but we'll get those temperatures up in the low 70s with those mainly dry conditions. As we take a look at our forecast here, I should say our camera in Burlington, we've got a little bit of sunshine out there, and I think more sun will be expected. In fact, I know a lot more sunshine is expected here as we head into Friday and the weekend. We'll have highs back in the low to mid 80s. There's a slight chance as we kind of get a backdoor cold front off the lake, Lake Michigan come through on Saturday. Could pop off a shower or storm, but most of us are dry with highs in the lower 80s. Mid to upper 80s Sunday through early next week. Notice those overnight lows in the 60s. Just a sign of a little more mugginess in the air.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Nestled along the picturesque Great River Road and crowned the best small town for adventure 3 years in a row by USA Today's 10 Best is Savannah, Illinois. Joining us today with more on why Savannah is more than a scenic stop but a destination is Brianna Junk from Explore Savannah. Brianna, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm excited to talk with you. I personally love Savannah. It is a wonderful, wonderful community to drive through. But the point of you being here today is there's plenty to do that can keep you there in Savannah and keep you busy. So let's start with some of those awards that we just talked about. Kind of describe for us why Savannah deserves some national recognition.
Right, so we just recently won the #1 drive along the Great River Road, which is a beautiful national scenic byway.
Yeah.
But the road along Savannah is notorious for being one of the most beautiful because of our stretch of the Mississippi River and the Mississippi Palisades State Park. And so just last week we won the #1 title for that.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And in the past we have won, and that's from USA Today, their 10 best list. And in the past we have won Best Small Town for Adventure 3 years in a row.
That is just wonderful, and I don't doubt it. I mean, I think a lot of us too who live in and around the Quad Cities, you know, oftentimes, like let's say you're going to Galena or something like that, you do have a choice of which route to take, and it is just so beautiful to take that way up north. You can't skip it. So I don't doubt the awards that are being won by Savannah. It is considered a hidden gem. So kind of describe a little bit more about Savannah, why it is a destination and not just a town that you're going to drive through quickly.
So Savannah is one of the oldest cities in Illinois. So not only are we rich in history, but obviously we're rich in outdoor adventure. And there's a lot of small town charm in Savannah that when you visit, you feel like a local. And that's really what makes it a place to visit with our small town businesses, our tourism, our riverfront. There's just so much to do and you'll always feel at home.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. So speaking of outdoor adventure, talk a little bit about that, where we can find some adventure in Savannah, because there's a lot to do there.
So our Mississippi Palisades State Park is obviously so scenic and beautiful. The views are unmatched of looking over the river and of the Memorial Bridge. It's also one of the only places in Illinois that you are allowed to rock climb.
Oh, really?
So a lot of groups come to rock climb the bluffs in Savannah, which is wonderful. We also are the start or the end of the Great River Bike Trail.
Yeah.
So a lot of people come and bring their bikes and explore that as well. We also just had an outdoor adventure place open called Nuts Outdoors out of Galena, and they will be offering e-bikes for the Great River Trail if you don't want to bring your own bike or pedal the entire way.
Yeah.
And they're going to be offering kayaks on the Mississippi River.
Oh, wow. So yes, just became even more to do there in Savannah. Describe the downtown for us. I know we already talked a little bit about it, but it is very much so like a Main Street downtown. It's very walkable.
It's very historic as well. It's very picturesque, Hallmark movie downtown, and everything is small business owned, and we're really proud of that. There has been a lot of people who have invested in Savannah and continue opening small coffee shops. We have a historic movie theater. There's a lot of restaurants and really just a lot of things to do, and things are walkable.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And we're looking at some historic photos right now that you guys provided for us, which is just so very cool to see. The movie theater, as you mentioned. And one thing I wanted to talk about, you mentioned Hallmark, which made me think of Christmas. Do not overlook Savannah in the winter months when there's snow on the ground either, because it is very much a Hallmark movie there in Savannah. So one thing that I think is important to mention, Savannah is very motorcycle friendly, which is huge in the summer months. We are motorcyclists. They are getting out there, and it's very fun for them to drive through that area as well.
Yeah, we've always had a reputation for being a motorcycle town. A lot of businesses that kind of focus on it, but we're so much more than that. I mean, obviously we have so much outdoor activities and things to do that aren't motorcycle related. So no matter how many wheels you want to come on,
you're welcome either way.
You're welcome.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so we talked a little bit about that small town hospitality, but you guys also host some big time, so to speak, events all summer long. So I want to touch on a few of those before we run out of time with you. Makers on the Mississippi is one that's coming up very soon in June. It is June 22nd. So what can we expect at that event?
So this is our first annual event. We have a event committee that has been formed, and we've been trying to think of new events to do in Savannah for families and along the riverfront. So Makers on the Mississippi, we will have muralists actually coming and painting murals along our riverfront on Marquette Park. There'll be kids chalk the walk to chalk the riverfront sidewalk. Vendors and dining is all walking distance, and it's just on a Sunday afternoon from, I believe, 10 to 2. And so it's just a nice little thing to do on a Sunday afternoon for families.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. You also have a great farmers market, which is every other Sunday. So we have the information on the screen right there if anybody wants to mark their calendars for that. Your 4th of July bash is another really good one, because you guys go all out. You do a parade, the whole thing.
Yeah, we do. So our 4th of July bash is actually on July 5th, and we have a parade, and then we have activities at the high school, which is bounce houses and, you know, face painters, just things like that to do for the kids and get people excited for the 4th of July, and then everything is followed by fireworks.
Fireworks, yes. And the last one, Summerween, and I wanted to talk about this one with you. This is kind of a mashup. You're doing Halloween in the summer?
Yeah, so last year they started this Summerween event, which is also at the high school parking lot. And it's all Halloween spooky related, where they have vendors and Halloween events, and really it's a fundraiser for our actual Halloween in October. So this is a way that we raise money so that we could have a better Halloween event.
Well, yeah, and may I mention, we are always freezing cold when we put our Halloween costumes on in October, so let's get those costumes out early and wear them in the summer. If you want to see a full calendar of events, or if you want to plan your next trip to Savannah, Illinois, just visit them on the web. Visit exploresavannah.com. We have that on your screen. Brianna, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Up next, we are in the kitchen with Bally's. They've teamed up with other local businesses for a new cooking series. Chef Sean Timmerman joins us next with details.
Quad Cities Live continues.
Get ready to turn up the heat, because Bally's Casino is cooking up something special this summer.
Yeah, that's right. Every Saturday from June 7th through July 5th, Bally's is teaming up with Budweiser and Bud Light to bring you Cooking with Bud series. And here to tell us all about it is Executive Chef Sean Timmerman from Bally's. Chef, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. So what inspired this Cooking with Bud series coming up this summer?
We partnered with our friends over at Stern Beverage. They had a great idea that maybe we could give away a grill and some meat packages and things like that, and so they decided that we're going to do a cooking special where every Saturday I'll have some kind of dish on the buffet that's inspired by Budweiser or Bud Light.
Okay. So how did the idea of cooking with beer come about?
I think, you know, we've been cooking with beer for a long time, right? But with Budweiser and Bud Light, you know, it's a cleaner flavor, right? It's a refreshing beer, so it's not going to like really overpower that food too much on you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, you mentioned that you're going to be featuring a different recipe each Saturday, cooking with Bud or cooking with Bud Light. So what's this one that you brought?
So today we have our hot honey wings. So we brine them in Budweiser ahead of time. That gives them a little more of a juicier flavor. They pick up a little more salt and sugar and things like that. So it's a lot more tender, a lot more juicy. And then we're going to toss them with our hot honey here that we make in-house.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So there is kind of like a science behind this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's actually osmosis, which is a fancy word.
Yes.
That is science.
Yeah,
yes,
very
right there.
So these are our wings here. And then also, when you come into the buffet, you can enter a chance to win a Traeger grill from Stern Beverage. And then also, we have a meat bundle package put together from our friends with King Food Service. They'll have Wagyu steaks, Wagyu fillets, Wagyu briskets, lobster tails, big shrimp, chicken, a whole bunch of stuff. So you'll be set, ready to go for the grilling summer.
Okay, so these wings, they'll be featured, is it in the buffet?
Yep, these will be on the buffet. Okay. These will be on there, I believe, June 14th, I believe, is the first time now.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I have that note somewhere, but I believe that's the one. So what are some of the other recipes that you guys are going to be working with?
So we're doing beer mussels coming up. That'll be the first one we do.
That's
so we'll be cooking
I'm
with
all
mussels.
about that.
Yep.
Oh,
we're smoking.
I know. I could tell by looking at your face.
I'm very iffy with seafood, but you know, I won't knock it till I try it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great pairing together. So
are you going to try one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna
they have
try
a little bit of heat to them. We use dried peppers. We bring them back to life, and then blend it with some honey.
Now a TV bite, because we still have to talk to this chef.
So you can take your bite first, and I'll ask you, what are some of the other items that you'll be cooking Bud with?
Yeah, so we'll be doing a barbecue ribs. We house smoke our own ribs. We'll be making a barbecue-inspired barbecue sauce, Budweiser inspired. We also,
I failed with the TV bite, but these
are they good? Good, good. And wash it down with some fresh Budweiser.
Really good.
You know?
Yeah, these are very good. I love the spice in it.
Thank you, yeah. Also, everyone who comes into the buffet will receive, with the purchase of the buffet, you get a glass of Bud Light or Budweiser with the purchase.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you being a chef, talk a little bit about your process when you develop some of these dishes. Like you're kind of, it's almost like you're like given a challenge, so to speak.
Yeah, sometimes they like to challenge us with some fun ideas and things like that. So we get together, my chefs get together, we start brainstorming ideas, writing stuff down, and we just kind of see what sticks on the wall, really.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you know, people in the Quad Cities who love a good buffet, they love Bally's. So if someone hasn't made it out to the buffet yet, what makes it such a great spot in the Quad Cities?
Well, we were ranked #1 buffet by Casino Magazine there, so that we have that accolade hanging there. But also we have so many selections. On Saturday night we have prime rib, we'll have smoked ribs, we have all the classics like the Yukon mashed potatoes and our mac and cheese and stuff like that. We have a whole Asian station that we actually cook the Asian food live in front of you in the walks and all that, so it's fresh to order.
That would just be an atmosphere.
Absolutely.
To be
it's all
around.
about the atmosphere.
A culinary atmosphere, absolutely. Okay, well, we did talk a little bit about how you can win all those giveaways. So do we need to do anything when we walk in other than just pay to eat?
Yep, pay to eat. Come on in. We'll have a QR code hung up there with the grill on display and everything, so you can kind of see what you're signing up for, and then we'll be giving it away on July 5th.
What an incentive, honestly, as if you needed one.
Right. I mean,
these wings are. I can't wait until we go to a commercial break so that I can just finish eating this wing.
And you know, if the hot honey is like spice, I'm scared. This isn't really too spicy at all.
No,
it's got
it's
just
great.
enough of a kick. It's got that perfect balance of sweet and spicy. So the Cooking with Bud series runs Saturday from June 7th through July 5th. So the hours are Saturday from noon to 8 p.m. So Chef Sean Timmerman, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is great.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Yes. Cheers.
Yes, cheers. Cheers with the chicken wing.
Right. Coming up, a free 2-day street art festival featuring live music, vendors, kids' activities, and so much more. A closer look at the Chalk Art Fest happening this weekend in downtown Rock Island. Next.
Tomorrow on QCL, keeping your kids safe around the pool. See how Infant Swimming Resource equips children 6 months to 6 years old with life-saving skills.
Plus, a new location has just been announced for the QC Farmers Market in Rock Island. We will share those exciting details. That and much more tomorrow at 3 on Quad Cities Live.
Well, speaking of Rock Island, the downtown is getting a bold, colorful makeover, that is, heading into the weekend.
It is the 9th annual Quad Cities Chalk Art Fest, is a vibrant 2-day street art festival at Schwiebert Riverfront Park. Say that 3 times fast.
Yes.
Joining us with the details is Ben Goujon from Quad City Arts. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited that Chalk Art Fest is coming around again. You know?
It's becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, it really is. So for folks who have never been in these last 9 years, and I don't know how you just haven't been drawn to this cool community event, tell us about what it is. What makes it such a great experience?
Yeah, so Chalk Art Fest is a 2-day festival where we have close to 150 artists creating 8-foot by 10-foot works of chalk art on the Schwieberts at the Schwiebert sidewalks. And the thing I love most about it is getting to watch these works come to life.
Yes.
But then B, the fact that it's temporal.
Yeah.
You know, if you are not there watching it and seeing it, you're going to miss it because next time it rains, it's gone.
It's gone, yeah. And you get to see like the art in action too. Even just watching this video, it is so impressive.
It really is.
So I don't care how old you are. I mean, when you see these artists at work, there's no way you couldn't be impressed. So
yeah, they really do incredible work.
Yeah.
We have artists from all over the region who are coming, and there's 3D pieces. There are, people do portraits that are just incredible portraits of people, and fantastical designs. All sorts of amazing stuff like that one.
I mean, some of it doesn't even look like chalk. Like, that's how amazing these artists are.
No. I mean, I think sidewalk chalk, and I'm drawing like a daisy on the sidewalk.
And as soon as you hit a bump,
this is incredible.
You're like, I'm done with this.
Yep.
Yeah. So what a great spot to have this down at Schwiebert Riverfront Park.
It is. It's perfect. We've got the band shell down there, and we'll have live music all weekend long. Food vendors. It's great for families. We have tons of kids activities. Bounce house, face painting, the Kaleidoscope bus is there. Rock Island Public Library's Library to Go will be there for a while.
Plenty for the kids.
So lots for the kids. There's a free kids chalk zone. And then we also do a large-scale community piece.
Yes.
Where you can do your own 2x2 square and create a much larger piece of art.
Do you put, now, when you guys do that, are there directions of what you're going to fill in? Like, does it turn into like one big?
We've got it gridded out, and we'll give you kind of a roadmap. There you see it right there. And then you can fill in your square.
That is so cute.
And everyone comes together, and over the course of the weekend makes this awesome Rock the Chalk logo we've got.
Yeah, so you've got another community project here coming up this weekend. It's called Have a Heart for Kidneys. So tell us a little bit more about this project.
Yeah, so this is something that Latoya Lewis has put together, and we're working with her. She's on our board of directors, and her family has been greatly impacted by kidney disease. And kidneys and hearts are connected. So she is doing a community art project where people can come and draw hearts on small canvases. And then she's going to take all those hearts, and they're all going to be dedicated to people that you may know who are affected by heart disease or kidney disease, and create a big kind of community work out of them. It's really exciting. It's a great cause. We're proud to be able to partner with her on that.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so something new this year to look out for are the hearts. Let's talk about the competition. After all, there is competition involved. There are cash prizes. So what are some of the categories that our artists can win in?
Yeah, so we have two main categories, adult and youth. And each category has a first, second, and third, and then we have a couple of honorable mentions in there. We also have some categories like the best reproduction. So, you know, if you brought in a Monet and created a Monet or whatever. And also best 3D. And we have some incredible 3D artists that come, and you look at the piece and it's like it's popping right out of the sidewalk.
That is cool.
Lion, that was wild. Oh gosh, so if you're like me and you're not a chalk artist or artist by any means, but you want to be involved with Chalk Art Fest, you know, obviously go down and watch this amazing artwork in real time and participate in all the festival, but you can volunteer as well.
That's right. We also need volunteers. You can go to our website, and volunteering is kind of, it's fun because it lets you be part of the event. With the chalk artists themselves, it's really physically demanding. They're out in the sun and the heat and on their hands and knees, and their volunteers get to support those artists by taking them water and making sure that they've got everything they need.
Just helping out.
Helping out the artists.
I love that. Yeah.
It's a great event. We love doing it every year, and come on down.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
The community loves it as well. So Chalk Art Fest is happening at Schwiebert Riverfront Park. And of course, it's free to attend. It runs from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. this Saturday and 10 to 5 on Sunday. Awards announced Sunday afternoon, so you won't want to miss it. Ben, as always, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for watching Quad Cities Live.
Your News at 4 with Sharon is coming up next, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.